you were a part of a docu-series named Beaten Path.
Beaten Path.
That followed you on a journey to apply your lyrical skill to martial arts movements and learn from the masters.
Yeah.
What is your overall connection to martial arts?
Days were long. The training was actual training, so it wasn't anything that was like watered down or anything like that. Even though it was more basic forms, there's so much stuff that you don't see that was happening, where you like, oh, it just looks, you learned that really quickly. It's like, no, it took me 4 hours, to learn that one sequence or to learn that one stance or to learn this one thing properly.
So shout out to Bonnie Chan Wu, my partner in Beaten Path, who's like actually the catalyst for putting all that together, taking me back to China and doing all that. So shout out to Bonnie. Who actually runs Complex China.
Oh, really?
Aside. Anyway, so she's in the culture. I know y'all have my magazine around here somewhere. My Complex magazine. Yeah.
Shouts to Joe.
Shout out to Bonnie.
Super Lupe in this.
You feel me? You feel me? I wanted the Cause cover though. They gave P the Cause cover. It was 2 art. It was like Todd James, and then they had Cause, and so it was 2 covers. It was like a double cover.
Yeah. The other cover on this one is.
It's for real.
Not this one.
Oh no. Okay. Shout out to Cassie. So it's for real. And for real had Cause.
Yeah, because they have an article in there. Yeah. And the article was talking like the article like I guess the headline tagline was talking about the Everybody Knows remix, which ties into the CRS thing.
So Beaten Path is the product of or introducing people to my real thing that I really do is martial arts. Yeah. So my real family business, if it was like, hey, what's your family business? It was like, oh, ours is karate schools. So my dad started, I don't know how many karate schools through his life, started doing martial arts when he was like 14, mastered a bunch of different things, Japanese martial arts, Chinese martial arts, some Korean things, some African stuff like that, just a pool of all this kind of martial arts information. So you come into our house, there was a library, there was like a martial arts books, all these different things. So I'm a kid reading Sun Tzu comic books, reading all these different, like the Art of War as a comic book, right? Just for kids, crazy. Right? And so that was our thing. So I grew up doing martial arts, judo, karate, Iaido, Japanese samurai sword, wushu, Chinese martial arts, all these different things. So Beaten Path was kind of like, my dad always used to say, if you get the opportunity, go back to where these things started. He's like, for me, I'm just giving you glimpses, and even though I'm mastered certain arts, I'm still just giving you kind of glimpses into these spaces, right? Mm-hmm. But what he always wanted his students to do, something called Musha Shugyo, which is like the warrior's journey. So after a certain point in time, you leave your dojo, you leave your compound, you leave your house, and you go explore the world. And he always wanted his students to do that. So it's like, at a certain point, go back to Japan, learn karate in, Okinawa, right? Go back to China, learn kung fu at Shaolin, right? Yeah. Go learn, African martial arts, go learn capoeira, like in Angola. Like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it. So he always would push people back to the source. So Beaten Path was me going to China, right? And it wasn't deep. It wasn't like, like I'm there for months. But it was enough to kind of honor my father's like legacy in a certain way. And then we're supposed to do them in Japan and France, wherever there's a martial arts culture, we're gonna go like hit and learn and do that stuff. So yeah, that's my thing.
So, and what I also saw was that Virgil, rest in peace Virgil, made a dojo.
Oh yeah.
In honor of you. Yeah. And now I'm discovering of your dad, the karate school. Yeah. Which, like, the question that I had about that, other than just being like really cool, like see you, was like what is your connection to Virgil?
Yeah, there was to explain that to folks, there was the last Louis show that Virgil did, it was like martial arts themed. Mm-hmm. And so the school, like the video might still be up because it's like a whole movie, like a mini movie shot. The video in that movie, there's a school, like you go to like this weird forest and then there's like this storefront and it's a karate school, martial arts school, and it's called Four Winds, right? Yeah. And so Four Winds is representative of my dad. He had our school was the Tornado School of Martial Arts School of the Four Winds, right? Oh wow. And so the tornado, all of that stuff was like kind of pulled from my dad. So he wanted to honor like black martial artists. And so he came to me. The reason he could do that is because I've been knowing Virgil for forever, right?
Did you know him pre-music or you met him through?
Knew him this is probably like '05. He was doing when he was doing his master's at IIT, Illinois Institute of Technology for Architecture, I think. They had a radio station there, and they offered us to do somehow through the, you know, you're coming up as an artist, meeting people. This dude Rohit was running the radio programs there and was like, hey, do y'all want to do a radio show? And so me and my man Bishop G was like, we're gonna do FNF Radio, right?
Bishop
First 15
G,
Radio.
Remember that? Yeah.
And so, but it was either the show before or the show after. We didn't know what we were doing. So either the show after us was Fort Home Radio, which was Virgil. So Virgil was DJing, playing like music from all over the world, all this different stuff. And so then he would stick around to produce our show, meaning like work the boards, plug everything in, run the music, stuff like that. So Virgil was like our tech production dude. And then that was how our relationship kind of began. And then it went, St. Alfred came to Chicago. He went to a Ye concert. He knew A-Track from DJing.
Yeah.
A-Track was Ye's DJ at the time, and then that's how all that stuff starts to happen. So anything that I needed, like even early Lupe merch is all Virgil. People never knew. It was like, yo, hey, can you make this logo for me? He'd be like, yeah, da, da, da. So it scales up to the end he reached out to me one day and was like, man, I'm working on a show. You know, I want to like represent your dad. And did the whole thing and then passed away.
Man, that is tragic but beautiful.
Yeah.